Hello, my pretties. It's the Lion Queen here. So, not that long ago, I made a video regarding, my review year of grade 9 in high school. Now, today I'm going to be doing, my year review of grade 10. Now, overall, grade 10 wasn't really a bad grade. There were just some ups and downs. That's one of the reasons I can definitely say. What I mean by there was ups and downs, there was a couple of things that just didn't sit well with me. And I will be talking about them in a bit, but first let's go on with the classes I had. Well, I had math and English, and I was still in the learning center at the time, so I had math and English. Then I had family studies and gym after lunch, which I had no problem with that. It was actually a pretty decent schedule. I thought it was a really neat schedule, and it was pretty good. Although some of my friends had graduated, some of them had changed different schools, and so I couldn't see them very often. However, though, in second semester, I had English and math, then gym, and then drama after lunch, which I thought it was a pretty decent schedule for semester 1 and 2. I thought of it was really decent. It was a pretty decent schedule. It ran from, September 2013 to June of 2014. So that was how long that schedule went. I actually thought it was a decent year, although I had ups and downs. Now, a couple of times when I was in, the lunchroom for Learning Center people, I was pretty much sitting there and, playing on my laptop while I eat. There wasn't a problem with that. However, I did watch a couple of YouTube poops at the time because they were always entertaining and funny. However, some teachers got overly sensitive and they started bitching over me watching YouTube poops. I mean, it's stupid that they make a rule saying that you can't watch videos with swearing in them. I'm like, Jesus, we're teenagers. We're not in freaking kindergarten, for crying out loud. Like, this is not a kindergarten classroom. We were at the time teenagers, and we should be allowed to watch whatever we want as long as it's not pornographic or anything, because, well, a lot of schools blocked those kind of sites, so there's that. But even then, though, teachers at the lunchroom were overly sensitive. I'm not saying this to, be mean or anything, but it's the honest truth. They were overly sensitive. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it just literally drained me to the point, why people were easily sensitive. And, I mean, I watched Robot Chicken at the time, and I thought it was pretty interesting for once. I mean, it was really interesting. Like, I've seen the Dora Robot Chicken, and I think I've seen Bob the Builder, and, I believe it was Scooby-Doo. I've seen a few of those. And I really enjoyed them a lot. However, I did get in trouble with the school for, well, watching, Robot Chicken and that. And I got my computer privileges taken away for pretty much a week. That's how long it was. However, it was kind of stupid that they had a rule saying I couldn't watch videos with swearing in them. And it was pretty stupid that I got punished for that. But, at the same time, I mean, it could have been worse. I could have gotten suspended, which of course that wouldn't have been good. Luckily, I never got suspended in school, which I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that I didn't get suspended from school because my brother did, and he said it didn't end well. Yeah, what I mean by didn't end well, it wasn't good on his behalf. He obviously, felt, bad for it, but at the same time, we all live and learn, people. Now, I mean, there were some people that I did like, but however, I had to put up with Sarah the Crier, the woman child. I had to put up with her that year, and she literally annoyed me yet again with her crying and stuff. And you know what's really got on my nerves is that she actually threw an eraser at me when she was handing it back to me. I'm like, can't you, just pass it normally instead of throwing it to me? Like, oh my God, I got really upset with her for, sitting there and throwing the eraser at me when she was trying to pass it to me. I'm like, be a big girl, and hand it to me nicely. Don't sit there and throw it at me. Like, Jesus. I don't know why Sarah did that, the crier did that, but apparently she did. And I honestly don't understand why to this day why she does it. There's just something that, I just don't get. That's pretty much all I'm really saying. But the classes I had, they weren't that bad at all. In fact, they were really interesting. So for family studies, I pretty much, did a lot of fun things and got to watch a movie here and there and got to do lots of stuff. I personally really enjoyed doing a lot of stuff. Of course, we learned how to take care of a robot doll, which is a baby. I got to learn to do that. Obviously, I didn't take it home with me, which I wish I would have. But at the same time, though, it was pretty much like if I was going to be a parent. It obviously really helped me out a whole lot, which is something I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that because it really helped me out a lot more. However, though, when it came to drama class, I actually really enjoyed it. I really did great at acting, and it obviously really helped me out, if I wanted to become an actor, which unfortunately I have to go to college for that. So, yeah. And the thing is, though, if I go to college for it, I would need, a certain, a college or university course credit in order to get it. Like, that ain't happening, but you know what I mean. College is really different when it comes to, school, because when you go into from high school to college, you need to, like, be elective on what you want to do, and the college has to pick if you're the right person for the university or college, so you can get in and get that elective, so you can graduate with a degree. So college is kind of different, but you get what I mean right there. So I actually really enjoyed drama. I thought it was really neat and awesome. However, I did have an incident, at least with one of my teachers. Now, I was telling my friend something, and she ended up chewing me out by bitching about what I was telling, and saying, oh, you're not the teacher, it's not your job, blah, blah, blah. And, I literally almost stormed out of that classroom because she pissed me off to that point. I literally almost packed my things and left the room. I would have left the room if I had the balls to do it. I would have done it already. But I never thought I would do it, and that's the thing. I got really frustrated right there. And, my anger got worse, and, like, not really too bad, but at the same time, some people were treating me like a child, and I really didn't like that. And I kept telling them, I'm a teenager, for crying out loud. I'm not a freaking kid in kindergarten. I was a teenager at the time. And, I was adult and near adult age, and some teachers were treating me like a child, which I don't understand why they do that. Why they do this to this day, I have no idea. Like, why teachers do this. I just literally don't know. But most of the time when it came to, grade 9, grade 10, I literally had nothing too major to really go through. But at the same time, I really enjoyed that year. I thought it was pretty good, despite the ups and downs that I did have with some teachers, and I think an EA or something, but you know what I mean. But I thought, grade 9 was actually a decent year. Maybe not the perfect year, but it was definitely an okay, decent year. They had decent classes for me, which I personally didn't mind at all. But I really enjoyed them, so there's definitely that. So anyways, with that being said, and moving on from that, let's get on with, the cafeteria food. I actually really enjoyed the cafeteria food throughout my high school year. I usually have cafeterias on Fridays, and I personally really enjoyed that, except if Friday's a holiday, I have it on a Thursday, which is pretty neat. When it came to, the cafeteria, The food was actually quite decent. It wasn't really the best food in the world, but it definitely was actually quite decent. I know some people may not like, cafeteria high school food, saying, it sucks and stuff, which I don't blame them, because there are some ups and downs when it comes to school food, but some of it was actually quite decent. I found some of the stuff enjoyable, like the pizza. I found the pizza enjoyable. I found the breadsticks or garlic breadsticks enjoyable. I ended up trying like a lot of neat stuff there, and they actually had really good cookies. The cookies were one of the best things I've ever had there, and it was actually quite nice because, it was really neat. So with that being said, the whole cafeteria, I don't eat in the cafeteria. I just go to the cafeteria to get, a something for lunch and then just take it back to the lunchroom. I obviously really enjoyed the cafeteria. It was actually really neat. I got to go there and have a great time. It honestly really helped me out a whole lot. I personally really didn't mind the cafeteria. They actually had pretty good food there. Well, at least from where I was. I don't know about you guys, about what the cafeteria at school was like for you guys. Maybe you guys can comment on that and let me know what you guys think. But I personally think that it was pretty interesting and really nice to have, cafeteria food every now and then. However, a couple times when my mom didn't have, anything for my lunch, she would send me money to go get, some cafeteria food, which I really personally didn't mind the cafeteria food at all. It was actually quite decent. I mean, most of the items were pretty good, but there were some other items that was pretty decent. There was a couple decent items in there, but I personally really liked most of the stuff, like the pizza, calzone, or yeah, kind of like a big pizza pocket or something, whatever you prefer to call it. But I personally really enjoyed the cafeteria's pizza. They had really good pizza. I really enjoyed it a lot. They were definitely really good in that quality, if that makes sense. I mean, there were a couple foods that weren't really that good, because I tried the hamburger once and I found the bun to be really soggy because the whole hamburger was like in tinfoil, and when I tried it one time, the cheeseburger one, and I opened it, the bun was soggy. Like, it was soggy, and I actually didn't think that was good because it was so soggy, because the heat trapped in there and moisture got on the buns, and it actually didn't taste that great. So, yeah. I tried the salad they have, like Caesar salad, but I found the croutons to be really soggy as well. And obviously, I didn't really like the fact that the croutons were so soggy. Most of the time when it comes to school lunch, I usually bring my own lunch most of the time. Whatever meat or something I have, I make for myself for, lunch. For school, I would eat it at school, and most of the time I brought my own lunch, but a couple times I have, but mostly every Friday I bring my money to go to the cafeteria to buy lunch, which I had no problem with that. It obviously really shows that, not all school cafeteria food sucked. Not all sucked, but there was just some that, had its ups and downs. That's what I can really say about school cafeteria. The school cafeteria does have some really great things, but of course, most elementary schools do not have cafeterias, pretty much, in elementary schools in Canada. However, that's what it is. But, I mean, it was really different, so there's definitely that. But, of course, every cafeteria in the world is different. Whatever you're in the US, Canada, or whatever, you really got to know that there is lots of things you can really do. So, I guess with that being the case, and with that being said, I guess I'm going to sit here and, pretty much just wrap up this video. Overall, my grade 10 year was pretty fun. I had ups and downs there too. This, besides, minus the fact that, I got in trouble a few times, but, that's just that. But another thing I really do have to say was that my grade in 2013, I got to see Frozen, which is the Disney movie I got to see in theaters with my class on a field trip. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself there. However, I did make a story regarding, my Frozen field trip video. It's in my channel. If you guys want to go watch that, you are more than welcome to go watch it. I think I uploaded it sometime early this year. I could be wrong though, because I don't really remember, because I don't keep track of videos I upload, but if you guys would like to, you can. I had to sit beside Sarah the Crier. Oh my god, in that theater. I really knew if she was going to cry, I was going to leave the theater. I didn't want to sit beside Sarah the Crier, but I was stuck with that. So it literally was the downside to it, and I really hated the fact that Sarah the Crier had to sit beside me. It really, just made me wanted to punch her because of how much I really didn't want her to start crying beside me, because it would annoy the shit out of me. So there was a lot of nice field trips I got to go on my grade 10 year. I really enjoyed them a lot. They were fun. I really enjoyed them a whole lot. I got to do lots of different stuff, which is something. And I even just got to enjoy myself, which is something I really enjoy, because, I like to enjoy myself and have a happy day. That's, what I like to do when I went to school. So there's definitely that. But, that's pretty much all I can really say for my grade 10 year. If I'm missing something, I can let you guys know what it is in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure I got most of everything out that needed to be said. So anyways, what did you guys think? Personally, let me know what you think in the comments below of, what your grade 10 year was like and stuff like that. If you don't want to talk about it because it's personal, that's understandable. I mean, I can respect that if it's personal, but like I said, and with always ways I'm going to say, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, if you want to follow my Twitter, link to my Twitter account will be in the About page section. If you guys want to go follow me on, if you guys want to follow me on DeviantArt, link to my DeviantArt will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as link to that will also be in the About page section. So you guys can go follow me on my backup if you're interested. And that's pretty much all I have to really say. But if I'm missing something, please let me know what it is in the comments below. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video. And I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.